Okay, so why do we have to take notes while we are reading the TK-12 textbook? There are two big reasons why we do this. First of all, the human brain does a really, really good job of reading really quickly, but only when the information is of a certain type. So if you were reading a big, long novel series, stories about people, your brain does a really good job of tracking all the different relationships and who they are and who the good guys are and who are the bad guys, because evolutionarily humans needed to keep track of that information in order to survive. It is an important part of human survival that we track relationships. And storytelling was a big part of how that kind of information got passed around within a primitive human population. So we do a really good job of tracking information through stories, even if we're reading it, which is why we can read really quickly when we read a novel or a story. But when we read something that's really dense material like science, where there's lots of new information and lots of new vocabulary, our brains don't do a really good job of processing that information at the rate at which we're used to reading. So what that means is, as you're reading the page, your eyes are moving over the lines, but all of a sudden your brain just kind of checks out. And next thing you know, you get to the bottom of the paragraph or the bottom of the page and you have no idea what you just read. So the notes are going to help you slow down your reading. That's one of the most important things that the note taking does for you. It forces you to slow down and to write down the vocabulary words as you come across them. And writing the vocabulary words also slows your brain down and forces your brain to process the new information as you're actually writing it out. So you actually come away with a better understanding of what you read because you wrote it down. The second thing, and this is the part about why we use the Cornell note-taking style, and we're going to continue to work on refining your Cornell note-taking quality. The part about this that's important is that at the end, you want to walk away with a really good tool. That tool is going to help you study when it comes time for getting ready for a quiz, because you're going to be able to quickly and easily look at the section headings of each of the paragraphs and the vocabulary contained within each one and the definitions, which you could then use to make flashcards for yourself, quiz yourself, and so forth. So the two main reasons why we take notes while we're reading is to force you to slow down, process the information, and then also to create a useful tool in the end. But the tool is only useful if two things are true. Number one, you can't write down too much. If you just copy the whole textbook down, it's not a useful tool. Two, you also need to make sure that you include all the vocabulary words. So if you're not doing enough writing, then you're missing important vocab words. So, and then probably three is organizational. If you don't have the page organized in a way that makes it easy for your brain to see the different vocabulary words, then the tool is not going to be very helpful. So we're going to continue to work on this, and in hopes that you will have very nice, neat, orderly, thorough, but not notes that take forever to create going forward. Okay?